We're live.
Good evening, everyone. We're live again this week with Luke Edge of Advantage IT. And Luke, really happy to have you here. So anyone that has any IT questions whatsoever, from cloud computing to scams to backup to platforms, just ask Luke. Just type your comment, and if you can, remember just to type your name as well, because this third-party app doesn't let us see your actual name on Facebook. So you can grant the app permission, or you can just type your name in the comments section. And Luke, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Laurel. So there's no real topic about tonight's chat. It was just a general conversation. If you've got any questions and things, like Laurel said, please leave them in the comments. I'm more than happy to help. And but there's a few things I wanted to talk to you about. So one of the things is the amount of scam emails going around at the moment relating to COVID-19. They're actually being targeted at hospital and care workers. And they are designed to infiltrate hospital networks and things. So they're hoping if they email someone with a nhs.net domain that they'll open it on a hospital computer, and then the hospital computer will get infected and infect the rest of the network, like it did with WannaCry and things like that. But there's other scams going around as well that are relating to new services that have been released, like Disney Plus. Disney Plus has had an influx of malicious emails and phishing attacks, and people just all round getting scammed, locked out of their accounts, and not being able to gain access to them again. So,
can I? Sorry to interrupt you, but I've just remembered a question I wanted to ask you.
Oh yeah, fire away.
There's this new thing going around, apparently, that if somebody sends you a text message, even if you don't click on the text message or open it, it causes your iPhone to crash.
There was something like that a couple of years ago as well, I remember, and it's something to do with what the characters in the text message, they're interpreted by the email wrong, and it just crashes. They're interpreted by the iPhone wrong, and it crashes the iPhone. So it's not so much they're hacking you, it's more that they're just causing damage to your device. I can't remember the exact details of it, but I will find the article and link it in the description. So I do have it saved somewhere. So if anyone is interested, they can pick it up and read it.
Okay, but is there a way, do you think, that you can't avoid getting that?
No, the issue lies with Apple. Like I said, it was a couple of years ago that I read up on it. I'm not sure if it's been fixed by now. I don't know where it was that you saw it or how the article was. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if Apple have fixed the problem now, so I will look into it and link an article and any evidence I find below the live chat.
Fantastic, thank you. Sorry.
That's all right, no problem. That's fine. So what I'm going to do is just going back to the hacking things, I'm going to share my screen. So let me just add screen to the live stream. Hopefully everyone can see my live stream now. In what we've got in front of us here is a breakdown of a domain name which you may or may not recognize. This is from a recent EE scam that was going around. And the way that these domain names end up conning people into clicking the links, especially with things like Disney Plus. So this could be like Disney.myaccount. Disney services. Well, that went well. Yeah, you get the idea. Is this first part here is mainly what people see, which is actually called the subdomain. And you can pick a subdomain that is anything you like and add it to your main domain, or your root domain, which is the core part of the domain here. And then you have your top level domain, which is the end part, which is either .com, .net, .org, any of the familiar endings that you recognize across the internet. So when you actually before you click a link in a text message or on an email, one, you can hover over that link to see where it actually goes. But if you do click it and look in the URL and it comes up with something similar to this, and all you can see is this first part, be sure to scroll along to the end and always look at the very ending, the root domain and the top level domain. The top level domain will always be situated at the end, unless it's got like a slash or like, it might have like / and then a load of numbers, but it will always be that last part before any slashes and after the rest of the domain. So look at that, kind of give you an idea to make sure you know which country or what service it's using. And then before that, look at the root domain. Now, if the root domain doesn't match up with the company's domain that you're expecting it to do, and the root domain will always be situated just before the top level domain. So if it doesn't match up with what you're expecting it to match up with, then just come off the website instantly. Don't even think to myself, oh, could this be, couldn't it be? No, it definitely isn't. So if this was actually EE, the domain name would be myaccount.ee.co.uk.
Do you know what else they've done? I had one, I'm one of my emails is with 1&1. Yeah. And when they were sent, I was getting for a period of time like a lot of phishing emails. And instead of being 1&1 it said 1&1.ir or JK or whatever country it originated from. And you wouldn't notice it's quite clever because you see the 1&1, which is your, a kosher domain. Yeah. And it's just what's that called? The top domain at the end? The
top level domain, yeah.
Top level domain is something that you wouldn't expect, but you don't always see it. And that's why you've got to be so careful checking every single email domain.
Absolutely. So it's always worth to check the top level domain to make sure it is a genuine one that you'd expect it to be. So for instance, if it was EE, you'd expect it to be .co.uk. If it was Disney, you'd expect it to be .com. Then you've got the root domain. Always make sure that matches up with the root domain of the website you're expecting it to be. And if you're in doubt, just do a quick Google. So Google EE and click on their website and see what their root domain is. You'll see that it's just EE. No additional text in there. It is purely just EE. And then if you go to the website and then click the My Account section, it will give you the full kind of URL for your account. And if it doesn't match up with the one that's in the email or the text message you've got, you can safely write it off as that's just junk. Now, occasionally you'll get an email that looks like bit.ly / like something like that. Now, these are just shortened URLs, and it's just so that people can track the amount of clicks to that URL and who's clicking and gather other data like your IP address, what devices and stuff you're actually using to click those links. Now, if you click that link, it will redirect you to a normal domain name, such as the one above. And then that's when you need to inspect it to make sure that it is something safe. A lot of genuine companies will use shortened URLs, especially in text messages and things, to save having to send out multiple text messages and incurring additional costs through whatever system they're using. So they will use a shortened URL. So don't just write them off as mumbo jumbo all the time. But be sure if you do click it, you check the full URL once the web page is loaded to ensure that it is a genuine, safe URL to view. Hi, Brett.
Hi, Brett.
Just seen you join.
So Luke, with the Bitly, and there's other ones, shortened versions and everything. So basically, if it was a phishing email link, that Bitly, you wouldn't get suckered in because you'd still be able to see the domain before you open the email or the link.
I can't remember off the top of my head. You've caught me out on that one, Laurel.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. It's fine. It's fine. In fact, what I can do is generate one quickly, and I can answer that question for you.
Because that's what I think is quite off-putting. You just think, oh, I'm not sure if that's a kosher company or not, so I'm not going to click on it. But obviously, shortened links are very necessary sometimes.
They are indeed. So let me just send an email from myself to myself.
Oh, we have a love heart.
Hey.
Naughty Laurel. No, it's good because like this is, Luke's doing it right now. So it's interesting all round for him, me and anyone watching, or everyone watching, I should say.
I just couldn't remember off the top of my head. So much going on.
Much going on. Why is it busier at the moment when we're in lockdown at home?
So just to answer your question, Laurel, sorry. No, if you hover over it, it just shows you the bit.ly URL. It doesn't decode it to the full URL.
So then it's dangerous to click the dodgy one.
I mean, usually if you click the link, unless someone is trying to download something to your computer, which, you know, everyone should have antivirus on their PC, and if you don't, then get it. But if you don't have antivirus on your PC and you do click a link and it is dodgy, you really need to kind of look at your security policies and go, right, let's get some antivirus. So I wouldn't, like I said, a lot of genuine companies do use the shortened URLs. So it's clicking them and saying no, or clicking them, not clicking them, sorry, because it could be dangerous. In this case, isn't always best practice, because you genuinely could be missing out on something. Once the web page is loaded, usually these emails and text messages want to get your login details. So they're not going to try and download anything to your phone or your computer, because a lot of hackers and things understand these days that people do have antivirus on their phones, or on their computers, sorry. A lot of phones, iPhones are very hard to hack, not impossible, but very hard. Android phones, again, will block a lot of downloads and the installation of software that's not genuine, or from the Apple's or from the Google Play Store. So to actually affect the devices for a web page is kind of an old school tactic. It still happens, but it's not used commonly. Most people are just after the login details for your account, because they can do all sorts of stuff with that. Imagine if it's your Amazon account, what they could go on and place orders for. You know, if it's your PayPal account, they could go on and empty your PayPal account in a couple of seconds. It really wouldn't be too difficult. So yeah, click the link. If the URL doesn't match up with what you're expecting it to, then come off the page. But don't just write off the shortened URLs straight away. That would probably be, that could be detrimental, because if you say for instance a credit agency, one of the big ones, you know, you've got people like Cabot Financial and things out there. So they will send an email or a text message with any updates to your account and things, and you'll get a shortened URL. I know that through personal experience with them a few years ago. So over a £5 bill from PayPal that slipped through the net. But yeah, so they will actually send you an email with a shortened URL. You click it and it takes them through to their official website and things. Yeah, so I wouldn't write them off in genuine, because it could be something quite serious that you're actually missing out on. Just be cautious when you do click the link that the domain name does look at the proper URL.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, just close that down.
It's a very good tip, because you can actually work it out yourself if something's dodgy or not.
Absolutely. It's always handy to be able to. This is why I like to help people with these things, is just explain, because not a lot of people know what a subdomain is, a root domain, or a top level domain. You know, they just look at it and go, oh, it's a web address. You know, but each part of that web address has different functionalities and different meanings behind it, and they can all do different things. So the top level domain is the .com part. The root domain is whatever you want your company's website to be, you know, Laurel Leaf Networking. And then the subdomain is anything before that. Now, a lot of websites use the subdomain for things like accounts, billing, order updates, order tracking. You know, they're used for a variety of different things. I use them in my own marketing tactics. So I have like subdomains that point to specific web pages for running Facebook ads and things, just so I don't have to make too many changes to my main site. So they are useful, but hackers know that a lot of people don't read the full domain name. They'll just see the beginning of it, and then from there they'll kind of judge whether or not it's safe or not. But you really should read the whole domain name.
Good tip.
Hi. Yeah. So Disney Plus is one of the big ones being attacked at the moment. Lots and lots of scams and things going around to try and get you to hand over your Disney Plus account credentials. They're actually selling account credentials for all hacked Disney accounts on the dark web for about $3.20.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, so you can go on the dark web right now and buy hacked accounts for Disney Plus for $3.20. obviously there's no guarantee that it's gonna stay hacked, but yeah, you can go on there. But once you've got that account, you've got access to people's home addresses, personal email account. The full personal email address that they've used for registering, and any other details they've added onto it. It's the same with other services. And the thing is, with a lot of services, people will use the same password over and over and over again. So if they've got your Disney Plus password and the email address that you use for your Disney Plus account, they can probably get into your Amazon account. They can probably get into your PayPal account. They can probably get into your Facebook account.
Well, again, what about if your passwords are different?
If your passwords are different, then it's a lot harder for them, because it will flag up with an error saying your password is wrong. They won't be able to log in. But then if you are using that same password for something like your email account as well as your Disney Plus account, well, if your password's wrong, if they try logging into, say, your Amazon account with the same credentials they've just fished off of you, and the details are wrong, they could try hacking your actual email account. And if they get into the email account, then they can reset the password for your Amazon account and get in anyway. So this is why it's important to ensure you use a different password for every service all the time. You know, password managers, LastPass and things like that, they're free. They're free for home use. You've really got yeah, they are. They're absolutely fantastic. There's really no excuse not to have them. You can install the app on your phone, so you've literally got your password vault on your phone. You know, and the app itself on your phone is protected by a PIN code or your fingerprint, biometrics, whatever you use to, or whatever option you enable on it. So that's it itself fully secure. And your phone should have a password or some form of lock on it anyway to ensure that it's encrypted. Especially if you're a business owner, you shouldn't be walking around with any unencrypted devices. So, you know, passwords on laptops, passwords on phones. Your laptop or tablet should have some form of full disk encryption. So for Windows users, if you haven't got Windows 10 Pro or any Pro version of Windows, upgrade to the Pro version of Windows and install BitLocker. If you're a Mac user, Mac has built-in encryption when you enable a password, but there are additional encryption programs and things that you can use. Yeah, Mac recently updated the way that the computers store and process files to a new file system, as it's called, which enables higher levels of encryption. So, yeah, as long as you've got Windows, put BitLocker on your computer. If you don't like Windows applications or have heard bad things about BitLocker, then look at VeraCrypt, which is VERA Crypt, CRYPT. Yeah, it's been a long day. And you can install them, and they'll allow you to fully encrypt either folders. VeraCrypt will allow you to encrypt the whole of your hard drive or specific folders, depending on what you want. I'd always recommend going for full disk encryption, and then if you want to be extra secure, you can encrypt in a folder. Again, you can encrypt a specific folder on your computer. Again, once you've got the full disk encryption, but full disk encryption is the way forward. Because it stops people from being able to just pull the hard drive out of your computer, bung it into another machine, and access the data. Yeah. So I think that's it. Pretty much covered in a nutshell the recent kind of scams and things that have been going around. Yeah, not many tech questions tonight.
Just one thing about the data. So that's what you would do. You would look at somebody's system, the security system, and the setup, and then advise them on how to back up their particular, because I mean, obviously you've done mine and what you did on my computer and stuff for me, you might not necessarily do the same for somebody else. I assume it's not all blanket, or is it?
It depends really on what the requirements are. Now, obviously, if someone doesn't want to use the cloud, doing this setup that I've done for you wouldn't be beneficial to them, because yours involves the cloud. If they just wanted it all on site or using physical disks, or if they had a server, then there's more information, and servers require different backup applications to the one that we've used for yourself. You know, servers usually hold a lot more data as well than a personal laptop and have multiple users accessing it. So there's all these variables to take into account. So every customer and everyone's requirements is kind of analysed on an individual basis, and a plan's built to suit their needs that's most cost effective and the most robust and reliable. I would never say there's one blanket that fits everyone.
Sorry for not getting back in contact, re-cleaning the memory, but I upgraded the software to the latest operating, and it was cleared. and it cleared.
It's amazing what an upgrade can do sometimes, isn't it, Brett? Is
that Windows?
No, that's Mac. That's Mac.
Oh, it's Mac. Ah.
Yeah. Macs, same way that Windows stores temporary internet files and junk files and things, Macs do it as well. It usually just takes a little bit longer for a Mac to build up a substantial amount because of the way that it stores and processes files is completely different to how Windows does it.
On Mac. Well, so, because that's what I tried to do with one of my iPhones. You know, it said memory storage, but I've had quite a few iPhones over the years, and it always seems to get to the point where it's full and there's nothing you can do, even if you delete apps, and it's like they do it on purpose.
I don't know about Apple toying with storage space, but I know they used to slow phones down to preserve battery life. To me, it was just a marketing con to get people to buy a new phone, but yeah, let's not get into that.
I had an iPhone 7 that overnight would be 100%, and in January of this year, suddenly overnight it went down to 22%, and the battery was drained literally if I had a 10-second conversation, so I had to upgrade.
That could be due to how the battery actually, the batteries in phones are lithium ion, and over time the battery cells start to deplete the more and more that they're charged and the longer they're left on and things. So if you overcharge, this is why overcharging your phone is bad, and you should always leave any electronic device that runs off of a lithium ion battery. You should let it drain every now and then down to 0, just so it's completely flat, and then recharge it up. Pretty much any website will say that to you, and it helps preserve the life of the battery cells. But with regards to the storage in an iPhone and things like that, so the only thing that really takes up storage on an iPhone would be photos, apps, music, you know, just media in general. That you've put on there. Now, one good thing for both Android users and iPhone users is Google Photos, which is a great little app. You can install Google Photos on your phone. You link it to your Gmail account. Now, I don't know anyone who hasn't got a Gmail account somewhere floating around. And you get free, unlimited storage for all of your photos. And all you do is you tell the Google Photos app, once you've installed it, to automatically back up your photos. Every time you take a photo or a video, it will back it up to Google Photos, either over 4G or Wi-Fi. You can actually tell it which one you want it to do. So if you don't have a large data plan, you don't want to waste your 4G. So you do it when it's only connected to Wi-Fi. And then you can then, Google Photos will, if you go into the app, it will tell you at the top saying all of your photos are backed up. You know, would you like to delete duplicates? If you click yes, it'll actually go to your phone's gallery and clear out all the photos that it's backed up. So it cross-references what it's backed up and what's on the phone, and deletes the ones that it's backed up. So it helps to keep your phone really, really low storage. I never, ever save any images on my phone. They're all saved on Google Photos. So, yeah, I've got a 64 gigabyte Samsung phone. I'm probably using 6 or 7 gig. Most of that's music and apps, and a lot of it's emails.
Oh, very interesting that Google Photos.
Yeah, they did a big advert about it a couple of years, about 18 months or so ago, but I don't think many people actually understood what it was. And all it is it's cloud storage for your photos, and they don't charge you. Whereas like with iPhones, with iCloud, sorry, you get 5 gigs free, and then you have to pay. Okay, it's only like 79p a year, but that still only limits you to like a terabyte of storage, whereas Google Photos is 100% free, and you get unlimited cloud storage.
I thought it was 79p a month, isn't it?
Is it 79p a month? See, yeah. I don't even know the cost.
I do get a bill for 79p, so, and I think it is iCloud.
Oh, so it could well be that then. Yeah. Now, iCloud is great for backing up your iPhone if you want to do a full backup of your iPhone, because you can just back up your apps, you can back up your photos, your contacts, everything can be backed up. Oh, there you go. Someone's just said it's 79p a month.
It is a month. But,
I don't know. I'm an Apple user.
Luke,
yes.
What is Google Photos then? Does the iCloud, OneDrive do that, where it stores photos, or
you can set OneDrive on your, if you have the OneDrive app on your phone, you can set it to back up your photos as well. But if you install OneDrive on your computer and you're a Microsoft user, so you have an active Office 365 personal or business subscription, you can set OneDrive to automatically back up your videos file, your photos folder, your desktop, and your documents folder. and that way it'll all be backed up and stored in OneDrive on the cloud and accessible anywhere from any device that you like. But if your device ever crashes, all of your documents are there in the cloud.
You may have to repeat that to me, because I was just reading a lovely compliment you've got. Who is this guy? He's super informative. So whoever that is, we can't see your name. You'd have to type your name, but thank you. He is super informative, let me tell you.
It's yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate that. So yeah, there's all sorts of different cloud backups out there for backing up your computers and phones and ensuring that you've got a recoverable image of your device. So you have some software that will back up your computers and actually take a full image of your computer. It's like taking a photo of your computer's setup, and it will take that image and store it in the cloud or on an external hard drive, like what we've done for your backup, Laurel. You have a full image backup. So if your laptop was to suddenly spontaneously combust right now, we could go out tomorrow, buy you a new device, and restore the full image backup from your backup hard drive or the cloud.
How safe is Alexa? Does she listen in?
Yes. A lot of devices, I think we actually touched on this last week, a lot of devices will listen in. Now, Alexa, Google, and that, they are designed to listen. That is exactly what they're designed for. So they will be listening, and they're listening for the keywords such as "Hello, Alexa" or "Hey, Google."
Hey, Siri. Oh, no, it's Alexa.
Hey, Google.
Hey, Google.
Hello. What can I do for you?
There you go. So all I had to say was the trigger word, and it's listening all the time to hear those words. I can be talking to my missus, and she'll say, "Can you Google that?" And that will pop up and say, "Hello, how can I help?" And it's like, "Yeah, didn't want you, thank you." But yeah, don't get me wrong, I use it at times. Motorcycle rider, so I will often have it linked into my headphones and say, "Hey Google, can you send me directions?" This is where it gets annoying, because the second you say the trigger word, there you go. They always listen. They're always listening. But other apps on your phone are as well, such as Facebook Messenger. It is listening in. It's been proven several times that Facebook Messenger listens in for keywords and things. I'm not sure if they've changed the algorithm behind it or what. I haven't looked into it for a while, but we tested it. So me and a few of the staff from my software company, we put the phones on the table, started talking about dog food and things. Before long, that evening, we had adverts on Facebook for various dog food adverts and offers and things. So they were listening. That was about 24 months ago. So things may have changed with Facebook Messenger between now and then. There's been a lot of lawsuits involving Facebook and their data privacy and data snooping and things. So that may have changed. But the devices that are designed to listen, what's the name of my company? It's Advantage IT Solutions Limited. I think Laura actually put it in the description of the video, but I will comment it with a link to my website on the line once the video is up.
He's in the directory. Just go to the directory, go to the search bar, type in Luke, and he will pop up.
Yeah, there's a lovely photo of my ugly mug there, so you can't miss me.
Don't be silly. Yeah, so that's very interesting about, because there was reports a few months ago, wasn't there, that Amazon or Alexa, I think it was Amazon.
Amazon and Alexa, yeah.
Yeah, and that they had recorded people for, what did they say, for quality services or to improve their services. But then shouldn't they let you know, or shouldn't you agree? So that's very interesting about, because there was. That was weird. Yeah,
I don't know what happened. I went on to Facebook to reply to see who commented. It's Nick RJ who commented saying, "What's your company?"
Okay.
Replied to him, and it started playing back our video.
Yeah.
So yeah, sorry, Laura. What was you as you were saying?
I can't even remember what I just said.
Alexa listening in.
They got caught out, didn't they? That their staff for quality services, and improving their services, they said that's the reason they do it. But okay, but then shouldn't they have to tell the people that they are listening that they're being listened to? Because surely they should be asking for consent.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the times though, when people create an account with these services, they don't read the terms and conditions, and the terms and conditions will usually say, this device will periodically listen in to perform X, Y, and Z and do X, Y, and Z. And yeah, people don't read the terms and conditions before they create the accounts and sign up and join these services. So whether or not their companies can be held responsible for you not reading the 32-page terms and conditions, it's up to the courts to decide. But I think that all terms and conditions for all services should have a brief summary of what they actually require access to and what they're doing at the beginning, just like bullet point summary that's in layman's terms, no legal gobbledygook where you're going to have to hire a team of solicitors to kind of decipher. But yeah, just something simple and basic to say, right, you, end user, we're going to be every 30 seconds listening into your conversations, or a microphone will become active to listen in, and we may periodically be taking photos using your phone's front camera of your face, or if you've got infrared facial ID tracking on your phone, we'll occasionally be scanning your face to ensure you're the authorized user of the device, and just basic stuff like that people can understand. So
I have two more questions, Luke. So the first one is, I think this is from David again. Should we turn Alexa off when not using it? And then somebody else says, what services do you offer in the cyberspace? Okay,
so I'll address David's first, as he was first. David, yes, I would always turn it off if you're not using it. Absolutely. It's one, you're going to save yourself some money on the electricity bill by not having that thing sat there powered on all the time. And two, if you're not using it, what's the point of having it on? I grew up with a father for an electrician who was very tight-fisted with the electricity bill, and he always used to say to me, even if the standby light's on, it's costing me money. So yeah, if you're not using it, turn it off. But it's the same with any electronic device. But with Alexa and things, the other option to turn it off is, the other reason to turn it off is because it will stop listening in to you. It can't listen in when it's got no power.
Thank you. And then
yeah, I think that was Nick RJ. Yeah, Nick. So I offer a variety of different services for cybersecurity. I'm a certified ethical hacker, which means I can do physical penetration testing and virtual penetration tests. So I can either hack into your network or hack into your building. Do web application penetration testing, not through myself, but through my software company. Yeah, anything from end user security awareness training as well. So if you've got staff or yourself need to get up to scratch with cybersecurity, we do end user training. We do cyber essentials certifications. So if you need help getting your cyber essentials certificate because you want to start tendering for MOD or government contracts, or just to boost your company's kind of profile with your clients and say we take cybersecurity seriously, then Cyber Essentials certificate is the way to do that. And we can help you with either the auditing, and the getting ready, as they call it, to actually achieve that certification. And yeah, just anything really that involves your company being breached or avoiding being breached, to be honest.
Their computer and training their staff and the whole project, basically, of cybersecurity, whatever it involves, including viruses, and Trojans and malware and stuff.
Yeah, firewall configuration. The big one at the moment is working from home, how to ensure that bring your own device policy. So if your company has staff working at home on their own devices, it's considered a BYOD, so bring your own device. Now, if your company is ISO certified or has ISO 2001 gap analysis, I can definitely assist with the gap analysis for ISO 2001. That's not a problem. If you wanted to drop me a PM, we can have a chat about that.
What is ISO 2701?
ISO 2007 is the cybersecurity or information security ISO relating to a company. So if you're a data center or your company is responsible for processing large amounts of data and wants to work with various other government agencies. So for instance, if you had a data center and your data center wanted to work with the NHS to store data for the NHS, you need to become ISO 2001 certified. The most popular ISO that a lot of businesses go for is 9001, which is the management and documentation ISO. So just say this company's got all their policies and procedures in place and things. But 2001 is the IT equivalent of that, saying this company has all the required IT infrastructure. They have all the cybersecurity up to scratch. They have all the perimeter defenses. They've got all the network defenses. The staff are adequately trained. It's quite an in-depth and complex ISO to actually achieve. Quality management is 9001, yeah.
So well, with that amazing list of what you offer, and we've got, for your intention, Graham, all Alexa users should familiarise themselves with Amazon's privacy policy. If you plan to discuss any national security secrets and don't want to open yourself to Alexa's snooping, press the mute button on the top to disable the microphone. And then there's more information.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Tim. That's from Tim Apps. So Tim is an extremely knowledgeable individual when it comes down to encryption and privacy of devices and things. So yeah, thank you for that, Tim.
He's super knowledgeable on everything. He's my word today go-to. Fantastic guy.
Oh, absolutely. Your level of English grammar and it is phenomenal.
He's just got the lot. Maths ability, English ability. So I think that's a good place to end. So we'll be back in a couple of weeks. Just to say that the next Laurel Leaf networking event is on the 28th of May. We've got a brand new platform. We're not actually using Zoom. Luke will be there in the background and in the foreground, actually. It's a really exciting virtual networking event. And also Luke and I are doing a charity quiz, to a pub quiz to, if I forget anything, Luke, please butt in. Saturday, the 30th of May, which will be up on our calendar later this evening, hopefully, or at the latest tomorrow. And it's £10 a ticket. All the money, every single penny, goes to the NHS to help support our NHS heroes. So I hope that lots of you will come along and enjoy the pub quiz. And Luke, we will see you in a couple of weeks. Thank you very much for today. Absolutely fascinating. Thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you, Laurel. Take care, everyone.